needing this message. Be the bridge with them. Be the spark that lights their path. Because this moment is no longer just about you. It is about all who will awaken through you.
Happy
Friday.
Friday.
You are becoming the messenger now. It is how divine energy moves through one willing soul to the next.
How's everybody feeling out there?
Feel the courage growing in your chest.
Yes,
Feel the
sir.
fog lifting from your mind. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt. You are not behind.
I already know what you're saying.
You are right on time. You are not forgotten. You are remembered in every realm.
Bible thumpers. Like, how can you say this and this instead of the Bible and bada bing? You say you're a black guy here. Hey, see, why don't y'all read the Ethiopian Bible, all right? As soon as you guys get well versed in that, then talk to me. All right.
Something beautiful.
What?
Something irreversible. And it is only just beginning. Don't skip.
Appreciate your
My
patience.
beloved child, breathe slowly and listen.
Brought to you by
The arrow
Shea Buddy.
shifted again.
Yes, sir. I'm definitely running low on that joint.
Something
Look at
was
that.
born.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. I mean, it's winter time, so you know us. We need our skin nice and moisturized.
When truth enters the soul, the body reacts. And right now, your soul is adjusting to the frequency of the message you've just received.
Yes, just got the cosmic shower, so definitely got the Mickey Mouse D. The Mickey Mouse D. If you know, you know. Phew. How's everybody feeling out there? I just put some this good old shea butter on, so I'm definitely glowing my going. Looking like a glowing Oompa Loompa. Oompa Loompa, Oompa Dee Doo. I got a nice chocolate bar straight for you. Oompy Loompy, confirmation bees. All you gonna see is Zoe on your TV. Those are not the words. I know. But let's jump right into it. Happy Fridays, or whatever happen days you may happen to land on this video. Today's date on my planet is 12/12. Very important day, just like yesterday was, December 11th. If you know, you know. So I had to get my spirits all right yesterday and make sure I was perfectly aligned to enter today's portal properly. And as I got out the cosmic shower, I was summoned to do a video for my beautiful collective. So let's just jump right into it. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to say, which I love, which means it's just more of a freestyle video. So welcome to another hybrid episode of No Filter, Think Differently, and Daily Motivation. All right, let's do it. Whew. All right, well, I'm excited, first and foremost, on the journey I'm currently on, because my body is going through shifts to the point where I feel nervous and exciting. Like my soul knows something big and huge is coming towards me, and we're excited about it, but our brain and our human logical side is attempting to rationalize what this sensation is. It's like my self-preservation is kicking in, and all the alerts are going off like, dee, 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 something's going on here. We gotta make sure we got every soldier on the front gates and making sure the alligators are ready and the hounds are ready to be released. Something strange is happening. We need to be prepared. That's what's happening internally in my body. And all the doubt and fear is being alleviated, if not all of it. But I'm not going to say that with 100% conviction yet. That could be my self-preservation talking as we speak now. Because it's a journey, you know, our bodies are built to be on high alert if we have trained ourselves to be alert in life, period, for major changes and shifts that happen, right? So me, I'm paying attention to my growth, like how we used to do as children. Like we would use a number 2 pencil or pen on our door frames to mark our height, you know what I mean? And then years later, you look at the growth and the difference. Like, man, I remember I was 8 years old, I was such and such, and then I was 10, I was here, and boom, right? So it's kind of like the same analysis or analogy I'm using for like when you're measuring your self-development journey and your spiritual growth. There's moments where you're blind to certain things. Like me and women, I was always looking at women and their looks, and I would get captured right away. And then further in my journey, my higher self would remind me of the movie The Matrix and how Neo, when he went through the mirror, when he took the red pill, and then he awoke and his hair was shaven and he got out the goo. Basically like Light. If you know Light, you just follow her. She believes that we're all in like a cryogenic sleep. We're like in a tank of water and we're just living the Matrix. Us gods are trapped and so forth. So it's very similar to the Matrix. And so when you wake up and Morpheus was training Neo in that simulation, Morpheus was walking through the busy streets and everybody was just in suits and walking like robotic, trained to be workers. And then Morpheus was warning Neo to always keep his eyes ahead of the game and keep his eyes on the prize and don't be distracted. And then amongst the simulation, there was a whole bunch of people walking in black suits, but there was this one lady wearing a red dress that captured Neo's attention. And Neo turned around to look at the woman in the red dress. And as soon as he turned back to face Morpheus, Agent Smith was right in front of him with the gat. So it was a lesson that Morpheus wanted to show Neo, to always pay attention and don't get distracted. And so that's where I'm at now, is like I'm seeing beyond the beauty, and I'm looking for the heart and the energy that radiates off the body this chapter forth, so I won't make the same mistake and falling for people that have good looks and good personalities. Because within the spiritual realm, I'm learning that a lot of people can mimic your energies to manipulate you, to make you believe that they're very similar to you. And if you have a big heart and you are too trusting, like I have been many times, then you can fall for that easy manipulation tactic. They're just mirroring energies. Like I don't want to say there's a program, but there's like education out there that is referred to as neuralistic programming. And it's like a study on how human behavior works, facial movements, eye movements, body language in general. It's a study of how body language can be decoded to represent emotions or what a person's thinking. And so it's scientifically been studied. You can look it up, neuralistic programming. That is very similar how I'm learning with the spiritual community, how things can work and how people can mirror. Thank God, Spirit Team. Appreciate that. I almost got off track. How people can mirror our own personalities to us. And then when we see our own personality, we're immediately excited to encounter someone else that's very similar. And then you can easily fall for friendship, and then the closer they get, the more energy you're giving them. And if you're not familiar with energy, then you're just ciphering a lot of your energy. I mean, they're ciphering a lot of your energy because you're allowing them in your energy field, like quantum physics and so forth. So I'm learning how to, I don't like using the word test, but for this sake, I'll use the word test. It's like I'm observing more people's actions, studying their energies before I allow them to be close in my cipher again, because that's sleeping with the enemy. Literally, if you're not aware and careful of that, this is a very dangerous game, depending on where you're at in life, or depending on what your purpose is. There was this one lady I came across recently on YouTube, and she resonated with me right away as well. She knows how to read energies too. She's very clairvoyant, if I'm saying that correctly, and she's very intuitive. So during her video that happened to pop up on my algorithm, my cosmic family is great by letting me know what I need to watch next. The lady in the video was explaining how us intuitive and clairvoyant people can can misinterpret other people's energies if we're not aware. If you're like a stage 1 or so forth within your spiritual journey, which is no shade I'm throwing. I'm just letting you know there's levels to it. Like if you're a novice, intermediate, advanced, master, whatever, what I'm saying, the levels to it of growth. And if you're not aware of how to read people's energies, you can allow those energies to creep into our own vessels. So in that video, she helps us intuitive and clairvoyant people read the energies properly, know how to read them, but not allow them to embody our sacred vessel or penetrate our aura. Long story short, she was attempting to give us advice in a solution to how we can properly be Charles Xaviers and analyze all the energies and know when to retract from a situation and when to participate in the situation, when to help change the frequency if need be, because a lot of us are healers. We can heal with our powers that we've been possessed with. So we need to be very careful on how we engage with certain demographics, not even demographics, just with people in general. So I don't want to separate, I want to unify. So like a lot of times, well, I'm glad I saw our video because it helped me resonate with her first and foremost, and help me understand why a lot of times I choose isolation versus going out in crowded places, because I have experienced that for years and not knowing why. At times I felt a lot of anxieties and a lot of mixed emotions when I went out in public. So I didn't know I was intuitive, but I was allowing everyone else's energy to penetrate through my field. And a lot of times my brother was like, hey, let's go out here. And I would tell him no. And he's like, come on, man, stop being nervous. I was like, I'm not. My soul knew what was up, but I didn't know how to explain it to him. So he, a lot of times, thought I was just nervous or just wanted to be alone, a hobbit, Bilbo type shit in my hobbit shire. And now it makes total sense because when I was around a lot of crowded areas, I would feel people's energies. Like last year, my boy hit me up for his 4th of July joint. He wanted me to come down there. And I had a family event I was at earlier that I was reluctant to go to, but I wanted to go and see family. And I did. And then afterwards, my body's like, okay, it's time to retreat. My social battery's low, so let's go. It's like basically like Jesus Christ did a lot of the times when he was with his disciples and within the public settings, he would at times go off in isolation to pray and to recharge his energies. If you're familiar with the scriptures, you know that takes place. And that's what a lot of us chosen ones need. We need to distinguish what areas we're going to be in to make sure our energy is always protected and utilized correctly. So the 4th of July event, I did not go, and I came back to the cave to get recharged. And my friend was upset about that, and I was attempting to explain what was going on, but I'm realizing at this current stage, I'm no longer going to explain, but I'm happy to myself explaining to you now. So whatever the download happens is just going to come out. So I'm going to stop doing disclaimers because sometimes I go against my disclaimer. Because the spirit tells me what to say when I need to say it. I'm a sword. I'm here to just say what it is. I'm not here to make sure that you take the message properly. Well, I am, but I'm not here to care about your feelings. I'm here to deliver a message is what I meant to say. Because I love everyone. So when I was attempting to explain why I wasn't at that 4th of July event, he got super upset. So you and your brother both didn't show up, yada, yada. I think I said this a few videos back. And I was like, man, I don't want to be around a lot of negative energies, And he didn't understand that. But us as chosen ones, we understand that perfectly. It's like, man, if you already know how your town is or your area is, and you're familiar with that gathering, and it sounds like from other people listening, they're going to have the rebuttal. Like, how do you know what they're going to be and how they think? And who are you to say that? But if you're intuitive, if you know, you know. So I can already hear that conversation going on now. Like, who are you to say fucking what's going to be there and how you can read? It is what it is. So if you're experienced in what I'm talking about, then this can resonate with to help you navigate through your next leg of your journey if you're within this spiritual community and you're intuitive and all the clairs, you know what I mean? So we need to be more careful on how we navigate from here on out. And today's a big day. And it's another graduation day for a lot of us chosen ones in the 5D earth. And I'm experiencing just a lot of shedding and a lot of new perspectives. And realizing that if you want something new, you got to clear out the old. And you have to mentally prepare yourself for everything before it comes. So it's a lot of unlearning of what we learned. You know what I mean? It's like you got to unlearn what you learned to learn what you need to learn. So I'm going through those pattern shifts too as well. And it's the truth can be scary as fuck. You know what I mean? I think I was watching a video from Light a few days ago, and I left a comment on her video because her video just hits differently. A lot of her videos are just popping up on my algorithm. And forgive me, Light, if I feel like I'm being obsessive with you or whatever. I don't mean to do that. It's just in my nature. Like I was talking to one of my classmates last night, and she was saying, yeah, when I'm in isolation, I find myself being excited to talk to a lot of people. Because we were just talking last night about how us in class are getting more familiar with everyone's identity and their personality. Confirmation, bitches. And we're all working together through it. We've had some arguments amongst our class. We're just learning how to communicate with each other. And she was talking about, me in isolation, I love talking because during our conversation last night, I found myself saying, oh, forgive me, I feel like I'm talking too much. And she responded right away. It's like, oh, no, you're not at all. And one of my problems is, since I'm isolated a lot, is I tend to talk to myself, my higher self, my spirit team a lot. Then I find myself when I talk to real people, I feel like I'm talking their head off. When in actuality, I'm not. I'm just having a real conversation. But I was so used to people in my surroundings that weren't much of conversationalists. They just wanted it straight to the point. Like, get to the point, right? And so my brain was trained for that demographic of people that don't like conversations, don't like long-winded talks. They just want, what's up, man? What's going on, right? And I'm wired to be a conversationalist. I love talking. Hence, I love my shows, the No Filter and Think Differently and Don't Just Get Up, Wake Up with your boy Zo-Dog. I love that because I can just share what I'm going through daily. And so she just helped remind me that I am not talking too much. And it all depends on your audience, right? So I'm preparing for a lot of things. I don't want to say what I was about to say. So I'm preparing for a lot of things. If you know, you know. Microphone droppers. There's going to be a lot of speeches I do across the world, addressing nations and cities and all that shit. So I can get ready. My nose itches like a cheek. So I'm preparing for all that, right? And that's why I'm setting my boundaries super strong now. And I don't give a fuck how redundant a lot of my message may be, because I just need to deliver them the way I need to deliver them and not overthink it. So hence when I was talking about FRIYAYAY and Megan, the draconic priestess, and FRIYAYAY, the tarot readers out here, that totally betrayed me, never called me back once and said, I'm so sorry for being a Judas. I'm so sorry for sitting at your table, at your supper table, and betraying you and everyone else that you trusted to let us in your circle. None of that type of shit, right? So I see them on my timeline because I'm in the same community, all right? I'm not stalking these people at all, just being Batman. They happen to be in your community. And I'm here to stay. I'm improving, doing what I gotta do, but I'm here to stay. So I'm not running. I never do run. And then when you see them and how they, like I was seeing Draconic Priestess live yesterday, and she could finally have her comments on and so forth. Probably the Alphabet Boys are investigating her. That's why she probably has some issues with her comments. Go through everybody's, these witch covens, just going back to the channels and just investigating all the comments, all that shit. So she finally got it fixed yesterday. And I was watching her, like, how she, in front of her audience, is talking about herself and, like, FRIYAYAY and other people that has been, devious and liars and so forth. And she's just talking about herself, like, yeah, these are pussies, man. They ain't gonna come out here and talk about the chosen ones, so they gotta talk in groups and behind the back. And they're just pussies. What the? And they can't sleep, and they're going through these symptoms and this and that. And And I'm like, damn, that's so crazy. She's like calling herself out, but she's doing it in such a professional way that's therapeutic for her. So like, I respect her for saying shit. You know, some people just totally don't admit it, but I'm looking at it at the at the aspect of like, how don't your audience know that you are the Judas that everyone in the world knows you betrayed and fumbled the bag over here? Like, how are you on your own channel acting like nothing's happened? And your friends are talking about it to you, and every time I'm brought up amongst your friends, you act like you're excited, then the jealousy and enviness just bleeds out your pores, and then they notice it, and then they call you out. Oh, you still like to collect that? You're doing fake accounts and all that shit. I'm blocking fake accounts every day, knowing it's y'all. When I like certain booty pics, you guys immediately start liking my pictures with _866, and then I go to your profiles, has all these numbers, but all your pictures all supposedly similar topics that strike my interest. I was like, these guys, y'all are funny. Y'all really trying to slide in. You're too elementary-ish. Like I'm the cosmic Sherlock Holmes and Watson, and you guys are doing some elementary games. And we catching them all. Me and Susan, my staff's like, all right, up at Oscorp, we're like, all right, another one. Yeah, Mr. Hayes, another fake profile. Sometimes I just let y'all on there just to get a sneak peek in Zoe's world, but it's just so funny at times. It's like, man, how doesn't your audience know? But then I'm quickly reminded by people like Light and Brittany, the Cosmic Wifey. A lot of you guys are just asleep, and you're just still at the surface level observation of Megan and FRIYAYAY and people like that. You're just going off their looks, big titties, and their personalities a lot. A lot of these people are copying other people's personalities, and that's how they stay in the game, because a lot of people are just surface level observers and just looking at the cleavage or the personality and just not seeing the red flags or the writing on the wall. So I'm seeing it as like, I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to betray Jesus Christ or Yeshua, whatever you want to say, right? And then get on my own channel and act like I'm reading about other people. Okay, guys, let's read about what's going on with the collective today. Let's talk about all the people that are backstabbing the collective, these fucking bastards. Let's talk about them. Let's see who it is. I'm sitting back, I'm like, your audience ain't calling you out on the comments at all. But it's just, it's very eye-twitching, but I'm not at the stage I was last year where I'll be upset about it. I'm just transmuting the energies like us in the spiritual community is supposed to do. Like I was talking to my friend last night from class, and I was letting her know that she has some anger issues like we all do, right? We all have our problems, and we're not all perfect. So I was letting her know, it's like, when I go through some issues, I transmute those negative energies through music right away. You know what I mean? I don't like holding on to anything negative. That's why a lot of people's like, oh, if I was in your position, I'd be like this. And I left that person a comment. I'm like, hey, I know my dark side. If he takes over and says, fuck humility and fuck humbleness, we going to be something y'all don't want to see. So I'm keeping it balanced, and I make sure I don't go out here and just be nasty. So I'm very strategic when I address things. So I'm not mad anymore. I'm just letting people know when I go through certain negative things or people are side talking or whatever. I put it right through the music. I may put it out in the world, or I may just keep it on this phone device. Just like a Ghostbuster capturing the ghost in the trap. And the plasma goes in the box and is there. They put it in their storage protective layer so it won't escape and so forth. They have contingency plans to make sure if it does escape, they got something else captured. It's like Batman. Batman always has contingency plans. What is contingency plans? It means a plan for a plan. It's like a backup plan for a backup plan. Just in case something goes wrong, you think about it. Every scenario and every possible solution that you can be on top of it. That's what real heroes and leaders do. They make sure they cover every aspect and not just look at it surface level, because if something happens that you didn't plan for, then you're caught with your pants down, and we're dealing with worldly events. That's very catastrophic. I'm saying that? Catastrophic. Man, Mercury's still in the air? Catastrophic. Catastrophe. It can just be a disaster. Let's just say that. And so God's showing me, all right, these are the people that are no longer obviously going to be in your circle. Look for people that resonate with you. And I find myself always resonating the people that are going through some adventures. And I guess that's what I signed up for, because I'm going through adventures now, and I love finding misfits. You know, hate me or love me for that term, but we're all misfits in my opinion. chosen ones, we go through some shit, I mean? A lot of chosen ones go through addictions and bad relationships and a lot of betrayals because God is building us up to go through these things so we can relate to the masses that go through these situations daily and don't have a solution because they're immediately wrapped up within their emotions. And we're so reactive if we allow our emotions to take over. Man, fuck you, dude, man, what the fuck. And then most of the time for me, immediately I feel horrible. I say, I can't believe I went that far because your emotions weren't regulated and they just came right out because our bodies need to release whatever doesn't deserve to be in there. It reminds me of Dick Gregory back in the day and how he used to self-heal himself. He would tell his body, his temple, whatever doesn't belong in here, you have 24 hours to exit my body. Let's think about another word. Evacuate my body. Something like that. You have 24 hours, you have 5 minutes to get out my body. You don't belong here. And if you tell your body, you command it, then it will do anything you command it. I kind of lost track of where I was going with the Dick Gregory analogy. Could be along the lines of balancing my energies properly, so I know how to respond versus reactive. Yeah, when you get emotional instead of yelling and cussing at somebody. Yeah, that's what it was. Us chosen ones go through so much shit that God puts us through those scenarios. Hence, we're chosen because we can see both aspects of the dark and the light, so we can balance it properly and be those oracles for people that I'm gonna get back to that other thought spirit team that are going through these situations and don't have a solution for it. Hence, the world needs me and people like us. Okay, so I'll leave that at that. So that's why a lot of us go through the worst of the worst, and we have the biggest hearts because we know how to steward it right and not lose our consciousness or our sanity. And we go back to another topic. I was watching Light's videos a few days ago, and they all hit differently now since I'm not blinded by the good looks. See how I'm bouncing around, but I'm coming back full circle. Because last year I was blinded by FRIYAYY's looks and her big titties and all that shit, and Megan, I was liking her and her steez because their potential is awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have great potential. And I see the potential in everybody. And us chosen ones, we get so frustrated when you see the potential. It's like God every day looking at what we could be. And then when we make the wrong choices, God gets super disappointed in us. And that's so, I can relate to that a lot because I see myself having that parent responsibility in my body now ever since I found myself, or even before I knew who I was really. Consciously, my spirit always knew who we were. I always had a caring feeling for others. Like, I saw a bully messing with somebody, I instinctively went over there and wanted to defuse the situation. Me and my boy Redbeard, like 2 years ago, we were leaving from a cell phone event. We were selling tablets and stuff back in the day, and ERTC program, if you know, you know. Providing employees that had W-2s, like insurance money for them, their businesses that were affected due to COVID. We were walking from an event and we saw these homeless people getting harassed by cops. I looked at Alan and I was like, you want to go over there and fucking talk to them? Because I was ready to go to those cops. I'm like, who the fuck are y'all? We're lawyers over here. We protect people that get abused by people like you. So what are you doing? And I had a feeling, I saw the vision that the cops was going to be like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry about that. These cops take advantage of people people that don't know their rights. You know what I'm saying? Ignorance is bliss. That's why the more knowledge you have is power. And then he looked at me like, you serious? I'm like, I'm damn serious. And I started walking over there. He's like, nah, man, or something like that. I forgot what it was, but I think we both came to a mutual agreement to keep it moving. Because I think the cop eventually walked off or something like that. And hence we did that. And plus, we just came from the liquor store, too. So we had a bag of shit. We were ready to get it in. I'm very proud of Redbeard. Hopefully you're doing good, brother, all right? I know I've been distant. Well, I got a little offended when he called the brother almost 50 or something. I got a little in my feelings. Yeah, wow. No, come on, man. Come on, brother. I love you. See, I got a little in my feelings. I have my panties in a bunch. But yeah, hopefully you're doing good and you're doing a good thing, Silverstein, by the Bings. And you still got to send me a check. Still got to send me a check, keys, consulting fees. But I love you, brother. Tell your family Uncle Zoe said was good. And hopefully you've been enjoying the holidays, even though we don't celebrate holidays. Once you know, you know. But you get me. I love you all, and I always will. So, yeah, I was about to fucking clothesline them cops that day. I was about to drop kick them cats in their puppy chest. Like, what the fuck you messing with my peoples for? Anybody. So I've always had that in me, like to look over people and protect them if they're getting abused. And I will always have that. So God puts us through the ringer the most to test us, to make sure that we can steward all the responsibilities that God's providing us daily. Hence, my body's going through these reactions now. It's shedding a lot of thoughts and feelings and responses and actions and so forth I was so accustomed to that I normalized. Like me and Debbie were talking last night. Confirmation burps. About, what were we talking about? Habits? Oh, normalization. Yeah, like, she was talking about how, what she's going through, since I said her name. I said it so naturally. But yeah, she was telling me what she was going through, and then I asked her the origin. I was like, so what's going on? She was talking about her family members and what they bada bings. And then I was being my Sherlock Holmes. I was like, okay, well, your actions stem from something. Like, my actions stem from something. Like, I always was quick to be argumentative or snap due to my dad doing that when we were back in the day. So I remember we came from a funeral. We went to McDonald's afterwards in Richmond. It was like late as shit. And the driver was like, oh, we got to wait for fresh French fries. My dad was like, fuck that shit, I want it now. And he pulled it off. And then we're sitting there all hungry. She's like, and he took us somewhere else. But his attention span wasn't there. He just snapped. And I found myself doing that due to my father. And then when she was going through her situation last night, or not going through any situation, she was just talking, I asked her a question, and she told me about her past, and then I saw a lot of similarities due to her past. So, like, a lot of our actions we do that become normalized until someone outside of ourselves points out those actions and lets us know there's another way of doing it. And then that breaks the habit of what we've been accustomed to do for X amount of months or years. So that helps when someone outside of us lets us know that this is not normal, and we but I highly recommend that we change our perspectives of it, and that helps us rewire our brain synapses to let us know there are other options versus back against the wall scenarios that a lot of us happen to be in. And then we came up with a solution due to our backs were against the walls, and it seemed to work every time our backs was against the walls. Then we were like, all right, well, that's in our repertoire. That's compartmentalized. That's the only solution. That won't make it work. And we're going to stick to that. That's just normal. That can be normal. It's life. I love that catch. I caught that joint right on Dianese. So that's normal. Nothing wrong with that. And that's a part of growth, going through the self-development journey. Right? Right. There's a lot of variables and a lot of things we must be aware of if you're on this chosen one journey. I believe I was just about to talk about once you're in isolation and you are in tune with nature and you listen to the small voice in our heads, that will help us guide us to the next highlighted item in this world called life, right? Because when you're chosen, you happen to move when you're told to move. You know what I mean? You have to be obedient. If God says, all right, you gotta leave, you're like, what the fuck? I don't know. What are you talking about? I gotta leave. You just gotta be obedient, and God will give you a sign through a TV commercial. He may say in like Hawaii or something. Okay, bet you want me to go to Hawaii? All right, bet. And they'll show a trip on Hawaii about people traveling. And then that's inclination for us to get ready to go to Hawaii. And then we think about how we're going to get there, right? And then there will be another commercial or a radio advertisement, and that will say, hey, man, there's a special going on at the Metro that's going to Florida for $50. If you take advantage of this deal today to Hawaii, jump on it. And then that's another clue that God says. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to know. You got to separate the distractions from God's whispers. Because this devil is very loud, you remember? Bells, whistles, light, shiny objects. You remember Jay-Z and Warren Buffett said that. Everybody's going for the shiny objects. And then they don't read the fine print, and then they find themselves with their pants down and on his casting couch somewhere. And oh my God. And he's scratching and scrambling. What is her name? Jess Hilarious was lunching yesterday with her stained pajamas and shit. I don't know if there's yada yada. I love her either or. She's a comedian, so if you know, you know. She was talking about the P. Diddy doc. Just the way she broke it down is funny in the still frame pictures and her facial expressions. Very luncheon, so you don't want to be caught scratching and scrambling and shit, right? Scraping and scrambling, whatever. In any situation, so it's good to be in tune with your surrounding environment so you know what's from the divine and what's a distraction to get you off course. We're 36 minutes and 21 seconds. You know. That was 9, 10, 11. You haven't seen 11, 11 everywhere. 222, 333, 444, 888. I've been seeing them all. 10, 10. And 88. 999. I've been seeing that like a champion. 555. All of it. You know. So it's very crucial during these times to have the ears of Noah and everyone else and yada yada. Or just to be in tune. If you're a prophet, you're the chosen one, whatever. I don't like having titles, but it is what it is. And I need to remind myself every day what I am. So my logical brain won't attempt to go back to its human ways. Especially during this shift, our self-preservation loves to kick in and go back to normality that we were accustomed to before we awoken. Sometimes we think, we're like, man, sometimes I wish I'd never even awoken, man. And then immediately we're like, thank God we did awake, because we would have been going right towards the slaughterhouse if we weren't awoken. We would have been following everybody else's frequencies, listening to the news every day, fear frequencies getting pumped in us, and yada yada. It's just me and my boy, we were talking yesterday about the same shit. It's like, man, thank God we're outside of that world. Newscasters, and then they just talking about the same old shit to get us to believe their narrative, and then yada yada. I don't even want to get into it because even now my body's like, I don't even, confirmation bitches. I don't even like talking about that shit. All right, you want to do that? Slap a bitch. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. I think that was it for that. So just be very careful of people. Sum of this video up for No Filter, Think Differently, and Daily Motivation. And don't just get up, wake up. What your boy's O-Dog got to throw on that for show. Let's just go through a recap of everything, a conclusion. Be very careful for people mimicking your energies. A lot of people do that. Put your own mask on in front of you so they can infiltrate in your circle. Be very careful of that. If you happen to see somebody that is mimicking your energy, test them out for a while. See how long they do that. But the only way you can test that out is by not allowing them to be in your vicinity. You have to see them once, right, or whatever, however you see them, and then you fall back and allow that mask to fall off. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can only mimic it for so long. Because if you're around them every day, they're going to take notes from you, right? And then they're just going to know what to do to appease to you. So, interact with them however you do. It's just checkers. It's a game of chess, not checkers. And then you strategically see how they operate. Once they show you their true colors, then you know, okay, bet. All right? Because the more you're around them, even though we're loving people, the more they can blend in, the more they can become Judases. And that's why a lot of my collective baddies are saying, so fall back, take your hiatus and let karma naturally do its thing. And me being a busybody and just love being creative and active, you know what I'm saying? A body in motion stays in motion. It was challenging at times for me to be obedient to that. And then God in me is like, don't fall back. And then when I did, I was seeing the true karma happen. I was like, oh shit, okay, they lost their cheat sheet. So now they're out here operating like they lost their drug source, which literally I was their energy source. And then my baddie was saying, see, look at them now. They're looking busted. They don't know. They're mimicking how you dress. And now they're dressing all crazy. And look at them. Their true devilish colors are showing. And then all my baddies just started seeing them truly exposed and their mask crumbling. And that's why when I was watching Draconic Priestess yesterday, it just popped up on my confirmation bitches. Popped up on my algorithm, Megan. I was like, shit, man, how can she fake the funk in front of people like that? And then it, like, God told me, it's like, because she's been doing that for a long time. That's just in her MO. It's like, damn, man, there's a lot of people that just lie and fake the funk. Then it reminded me of people in my family that be doing that shit. Narcissists and just manipulators. If you know, you know. Shit, if the shoe fits, it fits. Just like all the shit you talking about me daily behind my back. I don't know, that's just crazy. I know y'all talking about me daily. And I love it. I love it. Every time y'all talk behind my back, I feel it. I love it. Group chats, I love it. All the shiesty shit, all the PayPal receipts y'all be sending me. Hey, I just bought an Arlington spring gun for $351. Here's your payment receipt. If anything just doesn't look like charges that you made, please give us a call. I think I'm gonna fall for that fake shit. You guys keep on sending me email receipts and shit. When I call you out, you guys get mad and show me some Bitcoin mining. Hey guys, get your funds before it expires. You guys are doing the most. Stealing like a champion. Use my name off. I mean, come on now. Y'all paid for a hitman, but the hitman was actually an undercover cop, so y'all fucked up. That's the chest slapper right there. You trying to take the boy out, but you paid it undercovers. You paid a UC, oh my baby J's. So they definitely watching your ass right now. They waiting for your next mistake. And someone's comments was fucked up. They doing a lot of heavy investigation, a lot of hunchback work. All right, so they did that on the 12th. Okay, let's see what they do now. They paid another practitioner. Oh my God, baby J's. They talked to another hitman. Oh my baby J's. Oh, they got conversations and photos on their phone. Oh, someone buried the body in their backyard. Oh my baby J's. Someone's trying to escape to the Bahamas. Oh my baby J's. Oh, someone's doing what? Oh my baby J's. There's a lot of baby J's happening. A lot of fucking exposure season. I'm like, yes, they did all that to stop my shine. They want to take me out so they can steal what was rightfully mine? Baby J's. You know what I mean? I'm maybe a hybrid alien. I mean, baby J's. I may have been adopted. There's a lot of shit going on. Karmic cousins. I mean, baby J's, what I'm finding out. People open up PPL loans and people's getting paid monthly off my name. Someone has property of mine that is refusing to give back. Karmic stepmothers, whatever they out here. Fathers, grandfathers, aunts. We're hearing a lot of fucking people that may be involved in this shit and was paid just to fucking steer me off course. People want to take me to beaches to attempt to drown me and shit. It's crazy what I'm hearing out here. She's crazy. The truth is stranger than fiction. So I'm like, baby J's. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of baby J's. So I'm just taking it day by day, and it hurts me when I'm like, fuck, man. Shit. Like, I think Light's video, what I brought up 3 or 4 times, but I don't think I wrapped it up right. I think one of her videos like, yeah, you're just an alien. You're just... Everyone else knew besides you, and then it hit me hard. I was like, fuck, man, damn. Like, everyone knew my talents and just attempted to keep me in this 3D reality. So who was really my friends to begin with? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like I had a fucking paid for a hire babysitter family or something. You know, it makes you think. So... yeah, hence there's a lot of holes within the family, secrecy and questions that needs to be answered, right? So it's not like I'm sitting here crazy and I came from a totally transparent family that these questions wouldn't even be erased, if I'm saying that right. You know what I'm saying? Like, the more honesty we had within the family, if I ever heard stuff like this, I would laugh at it. I was like, where do you even get this? But when there's mystery and lack of communication, then the questions can be risen based off the non-compliance, non-response. Why is certain things secretive? You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of questions that needs to be asked. If you are interested in finding out about your family tree and history, I mean, I am. I don't like living in a I don't know what the fuck's going on here. You know what I'm saying? When I was oblivious, I didn't mind it, and I was playing with toys and just being distracted. But now I want a solid family. I want to know what the fuck's going on. So I may not be attending certain things, and my spirit says, don't go there. And I'm like, that sucks. But I'm doing what I'm being told to do. So I highly recommend you listen and be obedient and just don't go because of your old memories and your associations. You feel guilty because, oh, I know that person, that's this and that. That's how they can get you. So be very careful and aware of your next moves throughout your whole life and your self-development journey, if you happen to be on a self-development journey. These are some bullet points to keep in mind to keep you safe and alive and avoiding to be sleeping with the enemy. If you know, you know. I love each and every one of you. I want you to enjoy the rest of your Fridays or whatever happen days you may happen to land on this video. And I think we can end it on a proper note and give us some good till musics. It's always good to end on some music. Oh man, Real Aesthetic did another fucking beat. Oh, my Baby Chase. Baby Chase, man. Baby Chase.
Welcome, Biddy. It's the real ass Biddy. Who used to be like me and say fucking gold and you can go up in your head like real. Me know he used to open up and just gripping what happened and they used to bring on me on the bag of grass. They was on the line, used to be in the Friday night, they hit the bar and they used to kids name fast. And afterwards they used to fucking say,
The Real Aesthetic. The cable guy. There's two cable guys, Jim Carrey, and yeah, you already know. Team Larry. Larry the cable guy.
Twisting around dog looking dames. All I gotta do is just say my name. Got the baby else speaking doing game, and I got the girl looking like the fucking names. We see his face and he fucking super surprised. We see the way the walk in the street.
You still smoking? Hey.
He aspired just to have the box on the side of one the baby don't stop. And you got the funny dog running up around dudes. Every time back in the day, he was right through. A lot of doors, right? A lot of fucking hiding, a lot of fucking red stripes, baby women running.
I used to drink a lot.
Especially when he escaped from the jail seat.
Hell yeah.
Oh McGee, here comes the doom slave. That's me right on the game.
Shotgun. Demon slays.
Every time you fucking try to drive in the back of the limousine, trying to
Find me, tell them.
thumbs up, love to support anybody that I got the same energy never for. And if you try to smile, trying to
Happy Friday. Oh my God.
Oh my God, what time is it? Oh my God, it's over for me.
There we
If you know,
then you know.
yes, sir. Another one.
Little snippet, you know what I'm saying? The project's called Bars. No Diddy.
Even most cats shocked, like you just saw the Netflix P. Diddy doc. Oh my God, oh my gee, what's a gee?
It's a low battery.
It's a low battery, so I just jump a seat and I let you all in. With the TRUTH. Every time I come across a no longer baby cakes, show the truth face looking like an EEVIL. That's why we out here. Here we go.
Get 'em.